This week, the TGA announced that they are consulting with the public on a couple of sunscreen ingredients. So I want to talk you through what has happened and just the science side. First of all, the limits on how much of a UV filter could be in a sunscreen. Those were based on more global calculations about how much sunscreen a person uses. But in Australia, we have high UV, we have outdoor lifestyles, and we use sunscreen more than the rest of the world. So it made sense to have those calculations more tailored to our needs and lifestyles, hence the Australian sunscreen exposure model. So we have our own numbers for how much sunscreen we're estimated to use, and it does use the 2 milligrams per square centimeter of skin amount, which is how much you're supposed to use, but most people don't. So the exposure people are getting is probably less in a lot of cases. From there, the TGA assessed all the safety data literature on 7 UV filters to make sure that any limits we have do reflect a wide margin of safety for the new calculations of how much sunscreen you'd be exposed to. For 2 of them it didn't, hence the proposed changes. Now bear with me. The second thing is just the understanding of a margin of safety and how wide it is. So I'm going to explain with chocolate. It's not a perfect analogy, we'll get there. Say we know that I'll throw up if I eat 1.5 kilos of chocolate, but up until then I feel fine. We give some leeway. We say 1.2 kilos is the no adverse effect level. Now we need the margin of safety to be 100. Here's the formula. So I divide 1.2 kilos of chocolate by 100 and I get 12 grams, which is 1 Freddo. Then we regulate to make sure I only get the equivalent of 1 Freddo per day. If it were 2 Freddos, the margin of safety would be halved to 50. I still wouldn't have any adverse effects until I ate over 100 Freddos though. I'm even safe if I forget lunch and then I eat 2 whole bags of Freddos, which is 288 grams, when my Vyvanse wears off at 4 p.m. Hypothetically, that's never happened before. So they're talking about adjusting the permitted percentage of homosalate and oxybenzone to the equivalent of 1 Freddo, even though it's been assessed that there's no adverse effect until over 100. The TGA did also reiterate that all sunscreens available in Australia are safe, and they're not recommending any change in use of sunscreens. There have been no warnings or bans or recalls. The TGA did also urge people to keep using sunscreen because the benefits far outweigh the risks. Direct quote. So I hope that helps, and now you'll understand margin of safety. I'm gonna go get a Freddo.